It started at 3 a.m. Chloe woke to use the bathroom and caught her reflection in the bedroom mirror. But something was wrong. Her reflection was sitting upright in bed. But Chloe wasn't. Chloe froze. The reflection turned its head slowly toward her, eyes hollow and unblinking. Then it mouthed 3 words. "Let me out." She slammed on the lamp. The mirror showed only an empty bed. A trick of the light, she told herself. It had to be. Outside, rain began to patter against the window, soft and rhythmic. A sound that should have been comforting, but felt like knuckles tapping on glass. By morning, the world looked ordinary again. Sunlight filled the farmhouse she shared with her fiancé, Liam, an old stone home in rural England, half-renovated, full of charm, and one odd antique. An enormous oval mirror hung across from their bed. They'd found it in the attic beneath a sheet, its frame carved with twisting vines that crawled through the dark wood like veins. The glass had a subtle curve, a faint warp that caught the light strangely, as if it were breathing. At first it seemed harmless, beautiful even, until it started noticing them. That afternoon, Chloe sat at her vanity, humming as she put on perfume. In the big mirror behind her, her reflection didn't move. It just watched. Then, when she glanced again, the reflection smiled. Cold. Wrong. The smile lingered even after she turned away. Only when she blinked did it vanish, like it had been waiting for her eyelids to close. Later, while cleaning, Chloe set her leather-bound journal on the nightstand. Liam looked up from the bed. "Didn't you just put that there?" he asked. "In the mirror. It's on the bed." They both turned. The journal sat in the center of the reflected bed, though the real one was empty. For a moment they couldn't breathe. Then, blink, it was back on the nightstand. "Did you see that?" she whispered. "I saw it," Liam said. They didn't speak again for a long time, just stared at the mirror, waiting for it to breathe. That night, they slept on the couch. Hallway light left on like a cheap charm against the dark. Over the next few days, the mirror's tricks grew bolder. Sometimes Chloe would pass the hallway and see movement where there was none. Once, as she brushed her hair, her reflection stopped mid-motion. Comb frozen halfway through, eyes fixed on her like prey. And then came 3 a.m. again. Chloe jolted awake. Her reflection wasn't lying down. It was sitting up, staring straight at her. The air felt heavy, thick enough to choke. She tried to scream, but her voice caught in her throat. The reflection pressed its palm flat against the inside of the glass. Its lips moved again. "Let me out." Chloe's gasp tore through the silence, waking Liam. He saw nothing, just the mirror, still and dark. But one look at her face and he knew she hadn't imagined it. "This thing isn't haunted," he muttered. "It's alive." Morning came gray and cold. Neither spoke. The air in the house felt wrong, like the walls were holding their breath. When Liam finally walked into the bathroom to shave, he tried not to look at his reflection. Tried. The mirror looked back with amusement. Then, slowly, his reflection lifted its razor and drew it across its throat in one deliberate motion. No blood. Just a smile. The razor clattered into the sink. He didn't tell Chloe. He didn't have to. That night, she caught him staring at the bedroom door like something was listening on the other side. By the third night, fear had hardened into desperation. Chloe grabbed his arm. We have to destroy it. Liam's eyes stayed on the mirror. What if that's exactly what it wants? The silence that followed felt endless. Then, as if the mirror itself answered, the overhead light flickered once, twice, and went out. Moonlight spilled across the room like water. Inside the glass, their reflections began to move on their own, smiling, whispering, leaning closer until their faces pressed against the surface. Chloe stumbled back. Liam's jaw tightened. "That's it," he growled. "I'm ending this." He snatched a wooden stool from the corner. Chloe screamed for him to stop, but he was already stepping toward the mirror. As he did, his reflection matched his stride, expression twisting into a grin of pure hatred. "Look at it!" she shouted. "Look at your face!" For a moment, the two Liams stood eye to eye, one human, one something else. Then both raised the stool, and everything went still. Shards glittered across the floor, tiny mirrors catching the light. Liam stood trembling, the broken stool in his hand. "It's done," he said, voice hoarse. But Chloe was staring past him. "Liam, look." He turned toward the window. In the reflection of the glass, they stood side by side. Their reflections smiled back, cold, triumphant. The mirror was gone, but its world had bled into theirs. The television screen, the polished lamp base, the framed photo on the dresser. Every surface now shimmered with watching eyes. Even in each other's pupils, they saw the same grins spreading wider. They hadn't destroyed it. They'd released it. Now the house itself was a trap of infinite glass, 1,000 tiny windows to something that was still hungry. Chloe whispered, "What do we do now?" Liam didn't answer. He just stared back, because in her eyes, he saw them smiling too. Fear doesn't fade when the lights go out. It lingers, just beneath the glass. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Horror Across Borders, where every reflection, every shadow, every story has roots somewhere real. We bring you new hauntings every Tuesday and Thursday. Next Tuesday, 7 spirits walk the islands of Japan. 7 yokai born from vengeance, grief, and hunger. And each one can kill you. The 7 ghosts that will actually kill you. Premieres Tuesday, only on Horror Across Borders.